अबाउट CSS बॉर्डर्स। तो हम लोगों ने लास्ट सेक्शन में CSS बॉर्डर्स के बारे में पढ़ा था और आज हम उसी पे कंटिन्यू करने वाले हैं। तो एज अ फर्स्ट वर्ड आई वुड से कि जो CSS बॉक्स मॉडल होता है ना, ये कुछ इस तरीके से होता है कि इफ आई से टू यू कि जितने भी हमारी जो HTML एलिमेंट्स होते हैं ना, वो क्या होते हैं? These all are boxes. Every HTML element that comes in the document is what? Is a box. And it is wrapped inside the box. And this is how our HTML works. So, ये सुनने में थोड़ा अजीब सा लग रहा होगा ना, बट यस एक्चुअली ऐसा ही है। और आज हम इसी चीज़ को एक्सप्लोर करने वाले हैं कि कैसे जो एक सिंपल सा HTML एलिमेंट होता है वो एक बॉक्स टाइप का होता है, चाहे जितने आपने राउंड एलिमेंट्स देखे हो, चाहे जैसे एलिमेंट्स देखे हो, वो असल में ऑन द बिहाइंड द स्क्रीन जैसे वो प्लेस होते हैं डॉक्यूमेंट में, दे ऑल आर बॉक्सेस एंड दैट डिफाइंस द CSS बॉक्स मॉडल। और यूजिंग दैट CSS बॉक्स मॉडल हम लोग उसका लेआउट डिजाइन करते हैं। तो जो आज का लेक्चर होने वाला है ना, वो कुछ इस तरीके से होने वाला है कि आपको समझ में आएगा कि जो चीज़ें आपके साथ अभी तक हो रही थी, कि आप लोगों ने कई बार देखा होगा कि हम लोग दो पैरा को एक साथ करते हैं तो वो एक दूसरे के नीचे आते हैं। ऐसा क्यों होता है? ऑफकोर्स you know that is due to the block property. So how does this block property works and what is this box model, right? So आज हम ये चीजें समझने वाले हैं। So without any further delay, let's start our video. So what is box model? So box model helps you to understand how elements are positioned and displayed on a website. As I told you, box model ही वो तरीका है जिससे हम लोग ये बता सकते हैं कि हमारे जो एक HTML एलिमेंट है वो किस तरीके से पोजीशन है या कैसे वो दिख रहा है। ठीक है, the next point. All elements on a web page are interpreted by the browser as living inside of a box. That is what it means by a box model. As I said कि जितने भी एलिमेंट होते हैं, whatever they are, circle, they are text, they are images, वो किसके अंदर होते हैं? एक बॉक्स के फॉर्म में होते हैं। ठीक है, और बॉक्स मॉडल क्या इंक्लूड करता है? द डायमेंशन ऑफ द एलिमेंट्स बॉक्स, द बॉर्डर ऑफ द एलिमेंट्स बॉक्स, द पैडिंग ऑफ द एलिमेंट्स बॉक्स एंड द margin of the elements box. So you must be worried. Dimension of the element box. You know what is border of element box. Okay, we have learned what is border. So border is something that defines. Yeah, you are right. Same as that. You must be worried. What is this padding and margin? हम लोगों ने क्योंकि फर्स्ट टाइम वर्ड पढ़ा है, तो चलो इसको थोड़ा सा एक्सप्लोर करते हैं. So for that purpose, let us open our Paint app and try to explore. So suppose I have written a paragraph here. And just make it a more bit easier. So first of all, I will make a new rectangle here. Okay, so let us suppose this is our web page. Yeah, the one more rectangle I want to draw. So for a site of the thing, let us suppose this is our browser window. Let us understand. Okay, and then what is going to happen? Same as that, I will again select this. I will make a cross here. Okay, then the maximize here, and then a little cross so that it displays a type of a window. So it is a window. Now what I have done, I have used a let us suppose a element tag, and I have written this is a sample heading. ठीक है, for the sake of the purpose, let us think that the here I have used what? Here I have used an H1. So this belongs to what? This belongs to an H1. So this is H1. But you know how this H1 is going to be come inside the document if we see. So if you are going to inspect it, you will see that it is going to take this much width. Like if you are going to inspect it, that how much width or how much space is this heading taking inside the document. So this much space is going to be taken by a single what you can say, a single heading. So this is how the thing works on the behind the scene. So what I want to say is that कि अगर हमारे पास एक हेडिंग है, ठीक है, हम लोग को लग रहा है कि इसने दिस इज द सैंपल हेडिंग, यहाँ तक की वेट है, इसने यहीं तक का डॉक्यूमेंट में स्पेस ली, बट ऐसा नहीं होता। होता क्या है कि ये अपना पूरा यहाँ से जहाँ से स्टार्ट किया उस पूरी विथ को लेकर ये पूरी विथ ले लेता है, ठीक है। एंड दिस इज हाउ द बॉक्स मॉडल वर्क्स। इसको थोड़ा सा और प्रैक्टिकल करते हैं और चीजें को समझने की कोशिश करते हैं। So same as that, I have made a new folder of box model. So और मैंने ये CMD से किया. So if you don't know how to make folders and filed with CMD, please visit the last video. Okay, I have explained it to you. And I have two files, index.html, and it is completely empty. So let us make it. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to write a boilerplate code here. So how to write a boilerplate code, you know? Yes, you are actually right. So if you are going to hit a exclamation mark, and if you're going to hit enter, so this is going to be our boilerplate code. Now what we want to first change the title. So I will change the title to CSS and box. Okay, CSS box model. And then if I add one h1 here. Okay, I'm not getting auto suggestions. Why so? Don't know. Okay, I will create it manually, don't worry. Yeah, so this is a sample heading. Same as that, I have created a h1 that we have discussed. तो उसी के तरीके मैंने एक h1 बना दी जैसे हम लोगों ने बोला था. अब what we want, we are going to open it with what? We are going to open it with live server. So I have right clicked here and opened it with, oh sorry, I don't have to stop, I have to open live server. Yeah, so live server started at port 5500. Now I will open my browser because I use Chrome browser. So I'm going to use this, then 5500, and if I'm going to hit enter, so as you know, as our live server is started, my file is going to be shown up here. So just wait for a little second. And as you can see, this is our sample heading. This is our sample heading as we have discussed. Now, it is looking that if this is a document, अगर ये हमारा document है, ठीक है, तो ये जो हम लोगों ने heading लिखी है, ये केवल इतनी ही width ले रहा है. बट ऐसा नहीं है. हम लोगों ने क्या डिस्कस किया कि अगर heading इतनी है तो width कितनी रहा है, पूरी width ले रहा है. तो इसको पता कैसे करें? इसके लिए हम लोग क्या करते हैं, Chrome Developers tool खोलते हैं, Chrome Dev Tools. For understanding or to find how much width it is taking, we use Chrome Developers tool. ठीक है, तो आपको क्या करना है, आपने देखा मैंने क्या किया, कोई नहीं, मैं तो बस बताता हूँ. आपको राइट क्लिक करना है. राइट क्लिक के बाद ये जो सबसे लास्ट ऑप्शन है इंस्पेक्ट, इस पे क्लिक कर देना है. तो जब आप इंस्पेक्ट पे क्लिक करेंगे तो आपको कुछ ऐसा राइट साइड में पॉपअप डायलॉग बॉक्स खुल के आ जाएगा. तो इससे आप पता कर सकते हैं. तो ध्यान से देखो, ये हम लोगों ने वही लिखा है. हमारे पास एक HTML डॉक्यूमेंट, इसके अंदर एक बॉडी है, बॉडी के अंदर हम लोगों ने एक h1 लिखा है. अब ध्यान से देखो, इसको मैं एक काम करता हूँ, नीचे ले आता हूँ. सो ये और बेटर दिखेगा. या तो अभी क्या हुआ, हम लोग क्या बोल रहे थे कि हेडिंग के लिए इतना ले रहा है, लेकिन अब ध्यान से देखिए, अगर हम इस h1 पे हवर करें तो ध्यान से देखो, ये जो ब्लू लाइन आ रही है, द ब्लू कंटेंट दैट इज शोन हियर, इट एक्चुअली टेकिंग द होल विड्थ ऑफ द डॉक्यूमेंट. इफ यू आर एबल टू सी दिस, ठीक है, then the h1 that we have clicked here, if we are hovering here, that is actually containing the whole width. So this is how the box model works. Okay, this is what I want to explain to you. And now let us understand the concept of margin, then padding, and then how we can create their custom margins and paddings. Okay, so what happens is that yeah, so here now oh god, this is a window and I'll take it as a for a test. Okay, so let us suppose this is my div. Okay, this is, I've selected div tag. Let's change its color. Okay, and right, this is a div. Okay, this is what the div is, and let us fill the color inside the div. So I'm going to fill some light color. Yeah, that will be okay. And I will use this. Now if I hit here, so this is I'm having, this is my div. Now what happens is that, you know that this particular thing is border. So for that purpose, I am just coloring it out. So now the border is having the same color because I want to actually remove the sake of the border. Now let us suppose we actually studied that if we apply the property border solid 1 pixel black. Okay, if we apply the property of what? Solid 1 pixel black, then what is going to happen? Then this thing is going to happen. Something like, I will show you a type of this. This div is going to have a border if I apply that property. But what happens is that, let us suppose, एक मिनट के लिए ये सोच लो कि वो जो border है वो ये है हमारा. थोड़ा सा बाहर की तरफ है, बिल्कुल चिपका हुआ नहीं है। ठीक है, पक्का? या ठीक है। तो अब यहां से जो यहां तक की स्पेस थी ना, जो यहां से यहां तक की स्पेस थी, और फिर यहां से बाहर तक की स्पेस होगी, इस चीज को क्या कहेंगे? यहां से जो जितनी भी बाहर तक की जितनी जगह लेगा, ठीक है, और मेन कंटेंट से बॉर्डर तक की जगह लेगा, इस चीज को क्या कहेंगे? तो जैसे मान लो ये हमारा मेन डिव था, तो हम लोगों ने डिव ले लिया। फिर बॉर्डर से लेके ये हमारा क्या था, ये चीज जो हमारी फेंसिंग दिख रही है, बॉर्डर है, और बॉर्डर से और मेन कंटेंट से के बीच की दूरी को क्या कहते हैं? द डिस्टेंस बिटवीन द मेन एलिमेंट एंड द बॉर्डर इज नोन बाय द नेम ऑफ पैडिंग। ओके, नॉट दिस, सॉरी, पैडिंग। ओके, और बॉर्डर से लेकर बाहर वाले अदर डॉक्यूमेंट, जैसे मान लो एक और डिव हुआ, एक और डिव हुआ, तो उनकी दूरी अगर हमको फाइंड करनी है और यहाँ पे हम कुछ स्पेस देते तो इस चीज को क्या कहते हैं? मार्जिन। ओके, दिस इज हाउ द थिंग वर्क्स। तो बात समझ गई? व्हाट इज पैडिंग? पैडिंग इज द डिस्टेंस बिटवीन द मेन एलिमेंट एंड द बॉर्डर। एंड व्हाट इज मार्जिन? मार्जिन इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन द बॉर्डर एलिमेंट एंड द space after the what do we call it, yeah, after the border, and this is the main element. Now let us try to have it. Okay, so अभी आप लोग ध्यान से देखो, हमारा ये सैंपल हेडिंग था, इसको हम लोग दोबारा से इंस्पेक्ट करते हैं। जब इंस्पेक्ट किया तो वी आर हैविंग दिस, व्हाट वी आर हैविंग दिस H1। तो मैंने ये H1 दिख रहा है आपको, तो यही इसी H1 पे क्लिक किया। जब मैंने इस H1 पे क्लिक किया, ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे आते जाओ, इसको सेम करते हो, यहाँ पे देखो एक स्टाइल्स का टैब आ रहा होगा। अब जब तुम नीचे देखोगे तो तुमको एक बॉक्स मॉडल टाइप का दिख रहा होगा। तो अगर मैंने सबसे लास्ट वाले पे क्लिक किया तो देखो ये पूरा पूरा जो सैंपल हेडिंग है, ऑल द सैंपल हेडिंग दैट इज एक्चुअली कवर्ड हियर इज गोइंग टू बी हाइलाइटेड। सो if you are clicking on the innermost box, this is the innermost box, if I'm hovering it out, it is showing that yeah, it is taking the whole width in a blue color. Now what is next? Next is the padding part. So what we have discussed here, so the first one is the content and the next one is the padding part. So same as that, the first one is the content and the next one is the padding part. As you can see, it contains no padding. It is having no padding. The H1 by default have no padding. Now let us have a border. So as we haven't defined the border, so we know how to define border, right? We have learned it. So let's apply it. Okay, so first of all, okay, yeah, so first of all I will link a css file here. So if I write link and then href is equals to dot slash style.css, and then what we can write is that relationship is equals to style sheet. Okay, this is how. And if we click here css and if we style h1 and if we give border then solid 1 pixel black, so as you can see it is having now the border. So if we click here on the border, you can see there is a 1 pixel border. To make it more bigger or more visible, we can use 1 pixel to 10 pixel. It will be more easy. Now this is a 10 pixel border, and if we click on the border, it is highlighting. As you can see, it is highlighting. This is border, and the next thing is what? Padding. So the distance from the border to the outside document is called padding. This is the border, and the distance between the main content and the border is called padding. Okay, this is now clear, and this is how we actually define our elements. Okay, so let us understand how we can actually define our own margins and padding, right? Because this is actually compulsory. So for that purpose, let us style it. So first of all, I would choose a universal selector, and I will give a background color of, let us suppose, hashtag ccc. If I have given, so the the body is going to have a color of hashtag ccc. Now what we want to learn, right? So I'm going to select the h1, and the more better option is give this h1 a class. So I have given a class of what? Heading. So this is our heading class, and then if you are going here and if I write dot heading, you're going to see this. And if we give first of all I will give a background color. So background color to blue and color property to hashtag FFF. So this is the style is going to be applied. More or lessly, we can just change the color by hovering here and choosing our own color. So I think so this will be more fine. Yeah, this is some way cool, and just make it a little bit lighter. Yeah, it is fine. Now give a border. So I am giving a border of what? Of I'm giving a solid and 4 pixel and hashtag 111. So hashtag 111 is what? Black color. So it is having a, so this is our main content and this is its border. Now let us understand the padding concept and the margin concept, how we can add the padding and margin. Okay. So if I write margin, and you know what is margin? Yeah, you are right. The distance from the this border and the, yes, and the outside document. So first of all, if I write margin and put the value 0, so it is going to be override. And as you can see, it is now not taking so much space as it was taking before. Because if you see here, it is not containing any margin here. But if we remove or comment it out, you are going to see that, yeah, it contains margin. But as if we have defined that, yeah, you are going to have no margin. So it override it and it is not having any space. Okay, same as that, we can define the document's margin itself also. So if we go here on the universal selector and if we define margin 0, so all the rest space that is actually taken by the document is going to be vanished out. It is not containing any space. Now let us understand the margin and the padding property. So first of all, I will write a padding. So if I'm writing the padding, so the padding is going to be applied to all 4 sides. Okay, सारी 4 sides से ये padding apply होगी. So if I write in 20 pixels padding, as you can see, it is having 20 pixel here, 20 pixel here, 20 pixel here, and 20 pixel here. So here is what happened. This is the padding part. As you can see, if it is highlighted, we can just make it little bit lighter, and then it is going to be visible to you. So yeah, now it is going to be visible to you. So if I am going to here, this is the green part is what? This green part is the margin part. Oh, sorry, padding part. Okay. Now we can define a margin here. So if I define a margin of 10 pixels, it is containing the 10 pixel space outside from the document. So this is the difference of a margin. As you can see, I am hovering, I am using this. As you can see, this is my cursor and I am moving here. And yeah, this is the margin. This is my border. This is my excess padding and this is my content. Okay, this is how the box model works. This is how the contents are in our HTML actually work with. Yeah, so you are right. So there are multiple ways to define padding and margin for respected to their site. So let us suppose we want different margins in different site, or different padding in different sites. So how we can do it? So same as that, as we have discussed. So if I write padding top, so we want padding top to be somewhere around 100 pixel. So it is a very huge number, but as you can see, it is having 100 pixel of top margin. Okay, same as that, we want padding left to be 50 pixels. So 50 pixel is what? Half of the, okay, not padding, padding, yeah. So it is now having a 50 pixel of left margin. Now what we can do is also is that we can give a padding right of 70 pixels. So it is having a 70 pixel bottom, not right, we want bottom, because yeah, bottom margin. And yeah, and same as that, if we move padding right, so it is going to be applied on the right property. Using this, we can define the different padding properties. Okay, this is how the one way of defining a padding. Now, same as that, using the shorthand property, if we want to define how we can actually do it, right? Because this is necessary. So if I write padding, okay, And if I write two values, so first of all, if I write 40 pixel and 60 pixel, so as you can see, what happens is that if we see here, so we have applied 40 pixels. So 40 pixel means on the top and bottom, the first value is going to be applied to what? The top padding and the bottom padding. Same as that, the second property, the second value is going to be applied on what? The left and the right. So if we inspect here, as you can see, the padding is 40 pixels on the top and bottom and 60 pixel on the left and right. Okay, this is the shorthand property of actually applying the padding. This is the simple way. Now, same as that, as we have learned padding, we can use margins. So if I define margin top and if I write 60 pixels, you are going to see, yeah, it is having a 60 pixel margin here. As you can see here, 60 is written. Same as that is having a 60 pixel margin. And what is going to be your homework, or as your if you are practicing with me, just apply for, as I have chosen this top, so you have to apply for what? Yeah, you have to apply for bottom, then right, and then for left. Do it now. Pause the video. Okay, so as you have done this, so let us move to another concept of what? Yeah, the shorthand property. So if I write margin, and the same way, if I apply 50 pixel from the top and 70 pixels from the left and right, let's see what happens. So it is having 70 pixels from the left and right and 40 pixel from the top and bottom. This is how the thing is happening. This is the way. As you can see, this is the margin that is actually covered. This is the shorthand property. Also, there is a one property to center a thing. So if, as you can use, so I have written this padding. Okay, we know that if we give 40 pixel to top and bottom, and there is a one value called auto. So if I give here, you are going to see something. And same as that, if I apply to margin and wait a second, 50 pixel and then auto. Yeah. So 50 pixel auto, this means that it is going to have a separate margin of 0, but the padding is going to be okay. Same as that, if we go to padding, so it is having the auto padding. Auto padding means the auto adjust part, the same as in the left and same as in the right. तो auto का मतलब क्या होता है? अगर हम auto value दे देते हैं ना, जैसे हमने यहाँ पे left और right में auto दिया, तो इसका मतलब क्या है? वो अपने आप से adjust कर लेता है जो भी left और right की value होगी, किसके हिसाब से? height के हिसाब से. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे हाइट क्या है? ये हमारे उसकी हाइट है, और ये जो पूरा हॉरिजॉन्टल साइड है, ये हमारी पूरी उसकी विड्थ है. अब इसकी कुछ प्रॉपर्टीज होती है जिससे हम लोग इसकी विड्थ भी चेंज कर सकते हैं और इसकी हाइट भी चेंज कर सकते हैं. जैसे इफ आई हैव गिवन अ वैल्यू ऑफ विड्थ टू बी 50%, कि इसकी विड्थ क्या हो जाए? आधी हो जाए. तो तुम देखोगे कि इसकी 50% विड्थ आधी हो गई है. और एक चीज देखोगे कि पहले ये 100% विड्थ ले रहा था, इसलिए सेंटर पे नहीं आया था. बट जैसे ही मैंने ये चीज करी, तो यहाँ पे भी अपने आप मार्जिन हम लोगों ने, क्योंकि ऑटो दे रखी है एज यू कैन सी. ठीक है, जब मार्जिन ऑटो दे रखी है तो इसका मतलब क्या? जितनी यहाँ पे विड्थ लेगा उतनी ही यहाँ पे भी विड्थ लेगा, या जितनी ही यहाँ पे भी मार्जिन लेगा. आई एम सॉरी. ठीक है, और इस टाइम इसकी जो हम लोगों ने विड्थ कर रखी है वो क्या कर दिया? 50% कर दिया. आई थिंक सो द थिंग इज क्लियर टू यू. नाउ द नेक्स्ट थिंग, so as we have studied, yeah, box model helps us to understand and all the thing. The next thing is that the box model includes the dimensions of the elements box. So what are the dimensions? The height and the width, as we have seen. Also the border of the element box, the padding of the element box, and the margins of the element box. We have seen this. Now what is box model properties? So this is how the box model work. So as you can see, this is the main content. Let us suppose this is the main div that we have discussed. So the horizontal part defines its width. ये जो horizontal part होता है ये उसकी width होती है, and the vertical part defines its height. Here the distance between the border and the main content is called padding. Okay, so this is padding top, this is padding bottom, the left and the right, as we have discussed in the properties of the padding. Same as that, this is border top, border left, border bottom. We have discussed it, and same as that, this is margin. So what was the margin? The distance between the border and the document. Now, what are the height and width? So the content of HTML element has two dimensions, as we have discussed. The dimensions of the element can be modified with the properties of width and height. Now example. So let us suppose it has given a different example. We can choose a different, right? So yeah, we have this height and width of 50%. We can also give it a custom value. So let us suppose, let's give it a let us suppose 70 pixels. So the width is going to be 70 pixels only, as you can see. And now our div is in center, because as you know, we have used the margin auto here. The whole auto means to set with the respected document. Okay. So let's make it 200. So 200 is, I think so, not very much. Make it 20 RAM. That will work on. 30. Yeah, this is fine. So this is 30 RAM width. Now we can also define its height. So let us suppose height, and if we give it 200 pixels, let's see. As you can see, its heights increased to 100 pixel. As we are going to hover it out or go to the content, so this is our main content, and if we applied the height property, so the height is actually changed to what? The 100 pixel. Okay. So by using this, we can actually change the width and the height property. Okay, so this is how the thing works. Now, the next thing is borders. So border is the line that surrounds the element like a frame around a painting, as we have actually find it out. The different styles with width, color, radius kept for HTML with the border properties that we have already discussed in the previous video. If you have not seen it, you can go there. So we have used different type of styles, that is border style, border width, border color, and border radius. Now, what was the padding? The space between the content and the border of the box is known as padding. As I was repeating, right? The space between the main content and the border is called the padding. For example, padding is the space between the picture and its frame. Because if you're having the frame and we are having the picture, so the space between the picture and the frame is called padding. The space can be modified by using the padding property in CSS. तो जो जितनी भी space होती है, जो हम लोग padding अगर हम लोग को खुद से लगानी है, तो हम लोग padding property use करके लगा सकते हैं. For example, जैसे हम लोगों ने दिखाते कि हम लोगों ने padding 40 pixel दे दी. A padding is often used to expand the background color and make the content look spacious. तो इससे क्या होता है ना, जैसे मान लो हम लोग के पास कोई कंटेंट है, वी आर हैविंग अ कंटेंट, इट इज नॉट हैविंग मोर, इट इज नॉट टेकिंग मोर स्पेस, वो कुछ ज़्यादा जगह नहीं ले रहा, तो बाय यूजिंग पैडिंग वी कैन यूज दिस. ओके, नाउ पैडिंग प्रॉपर्टी कैन बी स्पेसिफिकली यूज टू ऑल 4 साइड्स. तो चारों साइड्स के लिए यूज कर सकते हैं. जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल, जैसे मैंने अगर पैडिंग लगाई थी तो वो चारों साइड के लिए एप्लीकेबल थी, बट फॉर द कस्टम स्टाइल्स वी हैव लर्नड, यस, this is the thing, the padding top, the padding right, the padding bottom, and the padding left, that we have just studied. Okay, the padding shorthand property lets you to specify all the padding properties, the values on a single line. So this is how the thing works. So if you write padding, so the first one is going for the top, the second one is going for the right, the third one is going for the left, bottom, and the fourth one is going for the left, as in the border property that we have defined. So border top, padding top 6 pixel, padding right 11 pixel, padding bottom 4 pixel, and yes, you are right, the padding left is 9 pixel. Same as that, this is the shorthand property as we have discussed in the border property. So it is having the same. Just like the padding, 3 values, example of padding is this. So this is the example of 3 value padding. So how does this work? So if we give this, so this is apply, it is going to be applied to the top, it is going to be applied to the bottom, and this one is going to apply to the right and the bottom. This is the top part, left part, and the bottom and the right part. Okay, so the 2 values we have seen. So the most used padding is what? Using the shorthand property or by using this. So by using 2 values you are going to use in your development career also. अगर तुम अपने development career में ये वाली properties बहुत use करने वाले हो, जो 2 values होती हैं, that is what we have learned. So padding top 5 pixel, padding left 5 pixel, okay, and padding right same as that. Now, margin refers to the space directly outside the box. तो वही मैंने बोला, द डिफरेंस बिटवीन व्हाट, द डिफरेंस, सॉरी, द डिस्टेंस बिटवीन the main document and the border is called margin, or a margin can be referred to the space between the border of the two elements. Same as that, the document is also an element. The margin property of a css is used to specify the size of the space between the border of the two elements. ठीक है, तो जो margin property होती है वो by using the margin property हम लोग margin define कर सकते हैं. We can define the margin by using the margin property. This is its example that we have already seen. The same shorthand property that we have learned in the padding, it is having the same. Okay, this is for the 3 values if you want to apply, and this is for the 2 values if you want to apply. There's one special case that we have learned, that was margin auto. So what was auto? Margin property that allows you to center content with the help of value auto, as we have seen. Okay, so if we are having some content and it is having some width, and if we apply margin 0 and auto, then it is going to be go to the center. So the top and bottom margin of the div element is going to be set to 0, and then the auto value instructs the browser to adjust the left and right margins until the element is centered within the containing element. As we have learned कि if we are going to use auto, then it is going to be automatically adjust how much space we want in the both left and the right, but that is going to be same. Okay, now what was the margin collapse property? So margin collapse property is what? So padding is the space added inside the element's border, while margin is space added to the element's border, right? Now, one additional difference is that top and bottom margins are also called vertical margins, because as we know that the top is in the top part and bottom is in the bottom part. And if we see the axis, so this horizontal axis and this is the vertical axis. So top and bottom, these all are these both are known as vertical margins. So collapse, while top and bottom padding does not. So what happens is that if we are going to use this property on the padding, so padding does not collapse, but margin does. So horizontal margins left and right like padding are always displayed and added together. So what happens is that if we are applying, if we are having 2 elements, right? Let us suppose if we are having 2 elements and we have different margins on different elements, then the margin of the both element, if they are going to be collapsed or collide, what we can say is collide. If they are going to be collide each other, then it is going to be collapsed and mixed. But if you are talking about the padding, they are not going to be added, they are not going to be collapsed, and they are going to be added together. Okay, now this is how the thing works. So as you can see, these 2 vertical margins collapsed, and this is how not worked. Now let us understand the concept of maximum and minimum width and height, and then so before going to the theory, let's do the practical, because that makes more sense to us, right? Because we are the ones who practice first and then understand the theory. Let us make a new paragraph tag. So if I hit write P here, and if I hit enter, I'm going to have something like this paragraph tag. But let us suppose if we want more content here. So this is the common way. So this is a sample paragraph, and this is the way that we can use, right? But this is not a very good way, because if you want sample content, we can't just do this. So for the developers way, we can use this at lorem ipsum dollar. So if we write lorem and I write 300, and if I hit enter, so I'm going to have my 300 words. So as you can see, it is auto generated my 300 words. So if you're, what you have to do, you have to write lorem and then yes, you're right, lorem 300. Okay, now what we want to open it with our live server. So if I'm going to open it with our live server, as you can see, my live server is started, and I have to just refresh it. And as you can see, I've refreshed my document, and I am having a somewhere like this. Okay, now let us work Now let us work on it. So first of all, what we have to do, you just have to right click and open our inspect tools again, because by mistake I have turned it off. Now I will make it visible on my horizontal side, okay, not on my vertical axis. So I'll going to fix it on the right, and now it is on my right, as you can see. So here it is. Okay, let us give some style to our paragraph. So let us go to our style.css and write some css for our paragraph. So first style that I want to change the background color. So if I write background color, and let us give it a white background color. So as you can see, it is having a white background color. Now what we want, the padding of this element should be somewhere around 10 pixels from the top and bottom, and 20 pixels from the left and right. So it is having 10 pixels from the top and bottom, 20 pixels from the left and right. And next property we can use is that text align and then justify. So using this, our text is going to be justified, and this is and now this our para is looking cool. Let us give it a margin also. So I'll give a margin, margin of somewhere around 10 pixel from all four sides. So as you can see, it is having a 10 pixel margin from all four sides, and this is our paragraph. Now what we have to learn? We have to learn the concept of maximum and minimum width. So maximum width is what? Maximum width is something that is a property that defines the maximum width. The width of the particular element is not going to be exceeded more than that. So if I write maximum width, and if I have written let us suppose 50 pixels, so the width of the particular document is not going to be exceeded than the 50 pixel. Whatever the content we have written, it is now having the 50 pixel width. Same as that, if we give the property of max height to be 50 pixels, so same as that, it is having a maximum height of 50 pixel and maximum width of 50 pixel. Okay, this is how the thing works. So if we are using this max property, whatever the thing we are going to be apply, it is not going to be changed. जो भी हम लोग अब width पे apply करेंगे वो not change नहीं होने वाली है. और if we still want कि अब ये और भी ज़्यादा ना change हो, that there will be maybe a case कि if you want your style to be applied only, कई बार ऐसा कुछ आएगा कि आपने कुछ ऐसी स्टाइल लगाई है और ज़रूरी नहीं कि वो केवल width और max width हो, कोई भी स्टाइल हो सकती है और तुम चाहती हो, तो उसके लिए एक चीज़ होती है जिसे हम लोग कहते हैं इम्पोर्टेंट. अगर तुम ऐसे डाल दोगे तो वो फिर तो वो कंफर्म अप्लाई होगी ही होगी. सो एक्सक्लेमेशन मार्क इफ यू मेक इट इम्पोर्टेंट, तो इसका मतलब क्या है कि ये इम्पोर्टेंट हो जाएगी और ये पक्का अप्लाई होगी, इसको कोई चेंज नहीं कर सकता. ओके, सो फॉर द फर्स्ट बेसिस आई एम जस्ट रिमूविंग इट, एंड नाउ एज यू कैन सी आई एम हैविंग दिस मच हाइट, एंड दिस इज माई ओवरफ्लोड कंटेंट. एज यू कैन सी this content is not going to be flowed. Okay, now what we are going to discuss, how we can actually do this, because what we don't want, as there may be a chance, कुछ ऐसा chance हो सकता है कि तुम्हारे पास कुछ fixed width हो, you want to define a fixed let us suppose maximum height of 70 pixels, और अब तुमको 70 पिक्सल से आगे नहीं जाना. वी डोंट वांट द कंटेंट कि अब तुमको इतना बड़ा डिव है, ठीक है, तो तुमको इसी के अंदर हमारा जो भी टेक्स्ट है वो इसी के अंदर आए, इसके बाहर ना जाए, बट यहाँ से बाहर जा रहा है, द कंटेंट इज ओवरफ्लोइंग. सो हाउ वी कैन कंट्रोल इट? So for controlling the text, we have the property which is called overflow. So if you write overflow, sorry, Control Z and overflow, and here if we write hidden, so if you've written hidden, you are going to see all the content that was overflowed is now hidden, is now hide. तो ओवरफ्लो हिडन का मतलब क्या होता है कि जो भी कंटेंट जो भी ओवरफ्लो हो रहा है, जो विड्थ से आगे जा रहा है, हाइट से आगे जा रहा है, उसको हम क्या कर दें, वो हटा दें. ठीक है, सेम एज दैट देयर इज अनदर प्रॉपर्टी व्हिच इज व्हाट, so if I write overflow and then if I write auto, तो ऑटो भी सेम होता है, बट वो डिफाइन कर लेते हैं कि उसको कहाँ पे स्क्रॉल होना है. ये चीज अभी थोड़ा 1 मिनट के लिए रुक जाना, वो मैं समझाऊंगा. जस्ट वेट फॉर 1 सेकेंड. फॉर नेक्स्ट लेट्स मूव टू द नेक्स्ट प्रॉपर्टी, दैट इज व्हाट, विजिबल. and if we give it important, that it is more going to be applied. So overflow visible means ki it is going to be applied. Visible is the default property. So we don't want visible, we want some solution, right? So let us suppose there's a last property which we known as scroll. Okay, so what happens is that now you can see we are having a scroll bar, and as you can see you can scroll it out. Okay, and this is what we were wanting. We don't want our content to be more than our width, and also we want our text. Okay, same as that. For that purpose you can use overflow scroll or overflow auto. So if you define auto, this is how the thing is going to be working. Okay, this is the thing. Also there is a property for applying on a single side. So as you can see our content is overflowing in which axis? Y axis. जैसे तुम देख रहे हो जो हमारा कंटेंट फ्लो हो रहा है वो किस एक्सिस पर है? Y एक्सिस पर है। तुम लोग को यहीं पे रोकना है, तो यहाँ पे हम लोग को क्या करना पड़ेगा? यहाँ पे हम लोग लिखेंगे ओवरफ्लो Y और यहाँ पे हम लोग स्क्रॉल कर देंगे। ठीक है, तो अभी जो भी होगा हम स्क्रॉल वाइट साइड, क्योंकि लेफ्ट साइड पे वी आर नॉट हैविंग एनी कंटेंट टू बी स्क्रॉल। ठीक है, और अगर राइट साइड जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल दिस फॉर द वर्टिकल साइड, देयर मे बी अ केस कि अगर हमारा जो कंटेंट है वो हॉरिजॉन्टल साइड पे जा रहा हो, तब क्या करेंगे? तब उसके लिए हम लोग क्या करेंगे? ओवरफ्लो वाई। तो ओवरफ्लो एंड देन वी आर गोइंग टू यूज एक्स, सॉरी नॉट वाई, एक्स, और तब इसको अप्लाई कर देंगे। लेकिन इन दोनों को ना अप्लाई करना पड़े इसीलिए एक स्मार्ट प्रॉपर्टी होती है जो हम लोगों ने पढ़ी है, वो क्या होती है? ओवरफ्लो एंड देन ऑटो। और इसको अच्छा करने के लिए एक इंपॉर्टेंट भी लगा देना आगे। तो इट इज नॉट, तो अभी इसने देखा इसने ऑटोमेटिकली डिटेक्ट कर लिया कि इसके पास वाई एक्स की तरफ कुछ नहीं है, तो इसने केवल जो स्क्रॉल लगाया उस पर लगाया, वाई की तरफ ही लगाया। ओके, दिस वाज फॉर द व्हाट? यस, दिस वाज फॉर द ओवरफ्लो प्रॉपर्टी। नाउ लेट अस yeah, so now let us move towards our theory. So this was our minimum and maximum hit weight. So web page can be viewed through a displays of different screen size. So the content of a web page can suffer those changes in size. Same as that, क्योंकि हमारी जो website होती है that is going to be also going to be learn some responsive context also. So for that purpose we are going to use this minimum and maximum width. To avoid this problem, CSS offers two properties that can limit how narrow or how wide an element's box can be sized to. That defines a boundary limit. And that is what the minimum and maximum width property is, and same as that minimum and maximum height property is. Okay, now we have learned what was overflow. So the overflow property controls what happens to the content that spills or overflows outside its box. The commonly used values are the hidden, the scroll, the visible, and what? The most important property, the auto. So thank you so much all. This was all for this video. And rest of the content is going to be uploaded in your, of course, dashboard section. Till then, keep learning. Thank you.